we've had this conversation before. Bryce Harper, my opinions on Bryce Harper. I used to really, really despise him, and then all of a sudden I kind of one day decided, you know what? I like Bryce. He's good for baseball.
I've always been a Bryce guy. That like I don't typically like the bravado guy. I usually prefer the quiet assassins. There's something about him going out there and backing it up from the jump where I was like, okay, this guy's got the goods.
It's just me. I'm going to be old man shaking his fist at the clouds. It's the mohawks and the haircuts. And the...
he's eased off that.
He's
Daddy Bryce
no,
now.
I'm not going to say that I don't dislike Bryce Harper, but that was one of the things that it was a hurdle to overcome.
Oh, he was the epitome of travel baseball kid.
Yeah,
like that. But he was also basically a pro at 16.
And he comes from money.
Yeah, like it is what it is. But I've always him and Strasburg when they came in and all the pomp and circumstance of
back-to-back number one picks turned out pretty nice for Washington.
Yeah, worked out real well for them. But like Bryce, the dude, much like Dion or anybody else who's got a level of gravitas and personality, he's always been the same. He hasn't run away from that. He's always been that guy. And for him to go nose to nose as Rob Manfred was doing the rounds as they're getting ready to have the talks, and we are going to get into this, and you were on one side of the fence, I am on the other. They are starting the groundswell for a salary cap in baseball, and I firmly believe, I heard Swag say this morning it's never going to happen. I could not disagree more.
Bryce Harper stood nose to nose with Rob Manfred at a meeting between the commish and the Phillies, telling him to, quote, get the F out of our clubhouse.
Told him to go believe himself. And Bryce Harper's a big dude, and Rob Manfred is not.
Manfred, he said that he never explicitly said the word salary cap, but this kind of raised the attention to Bryce Harper. I think it also said that Rob Manfred said, I'm not going to get the F out of here. Mm-hmm. So clap back. I don't think you hear commissioners talk like that very often.
Well, you did David Stern.
Yes.
David Stern, you heard do that.
But the alien Adam Silver doesn't talk that way.
No.
And Goodell is way too buttoned up.
Yeah.
There's too much on the line in the NFL to be talking like that. But I do feel like baseball is and hockey are probably the two sports. So you can say, no, I'm not getting the F out of here.
Well, look, now, in terms of Rob Manfred saying, I never actually said the salary cap, that to me, that
you don't have to, bud.
It smacks of Bill Clinton going, that depends on what your definition of is.
Yeah, for sure.
If you want to speak about that, you can get the F out of our clubhouse. Also, he said, quote, players are not scared to lose 162 games. That's where I clap back with you. I think players will sit out. I don't think this is ever going to happen. There's a reason there's no salary cap. And for players to go to a salary cap in baseball would be one of the most egregious mistakes in the history of unions, not just sports, but in the history of unions in the United States of America.
And here's where I will take everything you just said, throw it into a cannon and shoot it into the sun. Bryce Harper can sit out 162 games. Pete Crow Armstrong can't. He's making $780,000. Bryce Harper's making $60 million. There's a very, very, very big difference. Bryce Harper can say this. Hey, I'm just fine. The guy that's going into arbitration next year, no, he's not.
He does make $36 million a year.
Yeah.
Yes, but I do think that there is one thing in baseball that a lot of other sports don't have, and that is solidarity. They are very pro each other. That's why they get in debauchery over the weekend and nobody says anything. It's like,
there's clubhouse rules.
Clubhouse rules, unwritten rules, et cetera, et cetera. And I know you can, bitch and moan about that stuff all you want, but that's a reality in that.
Look, they're traveling
sport.
81 games out of a year. The thing about this is where I think the salary cap is going to happen. Is it's going to be good for baseball, not in the sense of the salary cap. In order to get a salary cap, they have to get a salary floor. And what that will do
I think a salary floor is possible because I think players would vote for the floor.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. The players aren't getting that without giving something.
They're not giving. Then they won't get it.
I strongly disagree because here's what will happen. The salary cap will come in and the poor broke owners will piss and moan and cry and blah, 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 blah. But then they'll put the salary floor in and the other owners who actually give a damn about baseball and aren't using it just to turn a profit will vote in favor of it because it will force out ownership in Cincinnati. It will force out ownership in Pittsburgh, Cleveland. All of the broke boy, John Fisher with the A's, all of the broke boy owners who are just god awful
Cash
humans.
strapped, but own a $1.5 billion organization.
But they're not cash strapped. They're just cheap. The Rockies, it'll force all of those owners out. For all of the ones that are sitting here, the same broke owners that are talking about we need a salary cap, the second they put in a salary floor, they'll sell. They'll get out of the game. And it will be better for the game because there will be, because I don't think the salary cap's going to be like NBA or NFL where you've got 250, 300 million. I think the salary cap will be like something like 380. 400.
It'll be big.
It'll be a big number.
Be a huge number.
The salary floor will be like 90.
But you won't be able to sign 2 guys for $1 billion like the Dodgers did.
And to be honest, it's not good for baseball to have. It's not good for any sport to have super teams. It's just not.
Well, that's why, and I clap back at this as well. Baseball is still baseball at the end of the day, right? The Dodgers, although they are favored to win the World Series and should win the World Series, they got no starting pitchers.
Sure, but all of the
can
data
blow up at the end.
All of the data.
I agree.
Every bit of it in modern baseball points to spend X money,
get results,
significantly higher chance of winning a title. Like it is a straight line.
Well, unless you're the Yankees, but that's because they spend money poorly. Have you ever had a boss that you want to yell at like this? Nick Castellanos said that it was pretty intense, definitely passionate.
I love how Castellanos is in everything. I just
always, dude.
Just have him come over. It'd be great.
You know what he's not? You know what he's not in though? Getting on base. He's not into that.
I did it once. Yelled at a boss like that.
Yeah?
Yeah. The restaurant I worked at with my wife when she got fired.
Did you lose your job?
I did not. She lost her job, and that's the reason why I yelled at the boss, because it was over some BS and bad behavior by other employees and servers that cost her job.
I don't think I've ever yelled at a boss.
Oh, I did.
I've been yelled at as a boss.
Yeah.
Actually 2 times. Now that reminds me of the night that I did walk out and quit because I was tired of doing all the work behind the bar while a guy played a dice game across the bar with one of the regulars.
I did,
and I covered the entire bar top and the well, Patrick, and you know what I'm talking about by that.
I did this
Friday
once
night.
with a boss that I was very close with. Like he was only like a couple of years older than me, and we had some knockout, drag out arguments, but it wasn't as a boss subordinate. It was as 2 guys who had known each other for a very long time.
Tensions were high, and you knew you could get away with it.
Well, no, I mean it was one of those things where it was a physical altercation between both of us, and but we were fine afterwards. But things were said in there that people heard in the other room where everyone was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, I got told once to do my effing job. As the boss, that does not feel good.
No.
On a Friday night in the server alley, that's not a great night.
You can't do this in the military. If you do, at least in my era, you were asking for an ass kicking.
Yeah, that's me.
Or you were asking for NJP, non-judicial punishment.
What's non-judicial punishment?
Article 15. That's the
Code Red.
No, that's.
All right. Well, I mean that was the movie term. Or what do they call it in
Yeah.
real life? Was it the blanket party? Is that right?
Wall-to-wall counseling is how we refer to it.
Gotcha.
I don't like that.
That's where you get thrown from walls.
Socks
don't
full
like
of
that.
bars of soap or quarters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that.
It's a softer, gentler military now. But
Woke.
no.
DEI.
We,
Thanks, Obama.
Well, we've gotten away from a lot of that. But yeah, that it does happen from time to time. You had the in the Vietnam era, you had the fratricide, where there's all kinds of stories of young privates throwing grenades in the tent of a lieutenant, who was getting them killed. There's some dark stuff in there.
I'm not yelling at our boss. Here, you'd be pretty stupid to yell at the boss. What are we yelling at the boss for here?
Dusty,
what am I mad at Dusty or Cooley for?
I don't
I
think
did call Cooley a Red Sox honk because that's what he is.
Well, he is.
He loves the Red Sox.
It was
Big
All right,
Boston
coming
guy.
up next week, Danny Marang with a new co-host.
Yeah, no.
I've been saying this on the hot corner for
he told me
years.
his
Clearly,
favorite-
none of you listen.
He told me his favorite player was Pedro Martinez.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
Well, I would too if I was a Red Sox fan.
He's not typically in the car during the hot corner. That's all.
Yeah.
Thanks for that excuse.
So Dusty and I did the show together for a little over 3 years. One time, and when we do this, when you work together and we've talked about this. We spend more time with each other than we do with our significant others and our families, talking. And that's not just on air, it's off air. It's the before, it's the after, it's all the other stuff. One singular time, on a longer break, him and I got into it. We MF'd each other up and down.
I've heard this story.
And We came back in, hit the segment like nothing happened. We got done with that segment. We both looked at each other and we both busted up laughing. He's like, we find because it actually wasn't that long ago. It was like 6-7 months ago. But it took forever for it to finally happen.
I'm not going to yell at you.
Nah.
You can yell at me, and I'm
probably
going to
will.
tell you to calm down.
At some point in
And
time,
if you
I
don't
probably
calm
will.
down, then I'm going to remove myself from the situation.
I'll turn the cameras off and bar the door.
It's my management crisis training.
Little wall-to-wall counseling for you.
I'm not going to like that.